Okay, here we are back in Exogenesis, the demo version of it, and right where we left off, we're now able to move around. Let's start looking around. This leads to a blocked alleyway, no point in going towards that direction. What else can I click on? Door's busted, this isn't the entrance to AG's bar. That dude sure looks happy, I wonder what happened to him when all hell broke loose. Some more signboards over here. The top floors look deserted. AG's the only one who set up shop in this dump, huh? Not a lot of these outside Nova's Tokyo. I remember Toshio saying Akihabara used to be a commercial district. 60 years ago, a hard-working salaryman was driving this home to the loving arms of his family. That's what Miho would say anyway. And it looks like we've run out of things to examine. So let's just head into the Empyrean. They call it Akihabara's Oasis, fitting name for a watering hole. It's a recruitment poster. You don't have to be alone, join the Iron Will now. The Iron Will? Nomad groups don't seem so popular these days, what with Sanctus and the GPA breathing down each other's necks. No one wants to be caught in the crossfire. The able-bodied tend to join one side or the other. Rations are still better than no food at all, I reckon. Let's go in. This is the place. Got yourself a cozy watering hole, huh? It's been too long, AG. Doesn't seem to be anything in there. Lights are off. Must be the defunct kitchen. I can see the bar counter reflected off the mirror. It's gotten dark outside. I should be careful on my way to the settlement. What else is there to click on before I have to start talking to people? Okay, you first. Sorry, I'm too sad to talk right now. Okay. Okay, dude with a knife. He might be fun. Who are you? What are you looking at? Okay, you're not too talkative. I'll just walk away. That's no fun. Okay, let's talk to Glasses guy. Maybe not. Hey, a new face. Take a seat and drown your sorrows with us. No thanks. Don't scare the poor kid. He looks like he just took a wrong turn. Yeah, I mistakenly ran into a murder scene. It's not one yet, but if you don't shut your hole... Better calm down. I'm not here to start a fight. Just walk away. Ceiling fan with power-efficient design must be AG's handiwork. Okay, there's an arrow here to allow me to turn. There are rats in there. Well, clean up the place, man. Smoking is bad for you. Yeah, so is drinking. Okay, I should probably cut back on the sarcastic quips. You sure you can read that? Okay, this guy isn't winning himself any points. I'm right here. You'd rather listen to that than the voice of your old pal? So, sign here is supposed to say in vino veritas, in white there's truth. Basically, drunk people actually speak their minds, they don't have as much inhibition, etc. And not entirely sure if that's something you'd want to hang on the wall in a bar, reminding people that, hey, you may actually start revealing things you've been trying to hide. Turning that off right now would be rude. Okay, let's just go ahead and talk to the guy. Hey kiddo, come back when you're old enough to handle liquor. This is AG, Chichalton's voice of reason and most sensible member of the group. I heard he's had a career change, but it seems his image took a 180 too. It's hard to imagine he used to bust heads. He looks so domesticated now. Comes with the territory, I suppose. Don't entirely know what's up with his tie. What are you staring at me for? You sure you're in the right place? We only serve heavy stuff here. Like I'd touch your booze. You can keep your Sanctus handouts. The Empyrean's drinks are homemade and high quality. It took me a while to learn the art of distillation, but I know I only serve top quality concoctions. You're doing well for a former scavenger, that's for sure. Bet better than you, I bet. What brings you here anyway? You really want to know? Don't I look like a busy man? Spill it or scram. Hey, what's with the hostility? We haven't seen each other in 2 years. My hands are tied. What do we need to talk about that can't wait until after work? You're not going to believe this, but I really need you to. If this is an invitation to salvage junk, count me out. There's little more I can ask for now that I have this bar. Well, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I need your help with reviving Miho. The man behind the counter fell silent as his eyes darted towards you. Eiji has always been known for his seriousness, especially for matters that required it. He never took kindly to quips that he would deem inappropriate. When you say revive, I mean bring her back from the dead, so she'll be alive again. You're not even drunk yet. What are you on about? You paused for a moment to prepare his angle. Looking up, you saw a sign decorating the rundown spar wall, which read in Vino Veritas. If there's truth in wine, I'd be saying the same thing under the influence. We can revive Miho. Get out of here. Eiji refused to budge. He was as stern as you remembered. It's not like I expected things to be too easy. Eiji is a man of reasons, whose level-headedness had saved our collective butts back when we were all in Durchalton. Still, I can't back down. I have to be careful with what I say if I'm to convince him. Profile has been updated. What do we even have up here? Sanctus biochip. I had this implanted in my arm before I even learned how to speak. Being a Sanctus member has its perks. The only thing I have to remember Miho by. Tanto Blade. My trusted weapon of choice. Never leave home without it. Let's check Eiji's profile. One of the founding members of Durchalton. If I can recruit him, I'm sure everything else will fall back in place. So, let's talk about the Empyrean. Okay, enough about that. You've settled in quite nicely, haven't you? You're now lowering my guard down with chit-chat. You should know better. I know that. Really, how do you even run a place like this? I imagine booze is hard to come by. You've got electricity, too. Things have changed. The sense of community is improved in most places. Them stupid recruitment campaigns are as stupid as ever, but generally people are willing to help each other out. How'd you score this place? The Sanctus base is not too far from here, so I reckon they give you a hard time. Indoctrination rhymes with intoxication for a reason. Know how they get people to worship that Septimus creep? Gotta use all the tricks in the bag. You mean His Holiness isn't just going to make their problems magically disappear? When you're drunk, your problems disappear, for a few hours anyway. Clearly by the grace of none other than Lord Septimus. Exactly. So, let's talk about Noah's Ark. Ever heard of Noah's Ark? Eiji was markedly concerned for the younger man. You may have been more emotionally damaged by the death of his sister than Eiji thought. It's an urban legend, a myth. Nothing's going to come out of it. Not true. Toshio and I, we got evidence. Anyone can make anything up, you know this. Not Noah's Ark. Myths have different origins with conflicting stories about what they actually are. There's only one consistent piece of information about the Ark, and that is that it can bring back the old world. Listen to yourself. A mad scientist would make more sense. I wish I could talk to the scientists who made it the Ark. Apparently they're from Sanctus. Where else could they be from? Sanctus is making this whole thing up so people will believe they have the way to salvation or some such crap. Then humor me this. How come Sanctus isn't talking about this Ark whenever they can? Everything in due time. Who knows what sinister plot they're working on? This Ark could easily be the ace up their sleeve. They're doing a good job of increasing their numbers and pushing back the GPA. They don't need a powerful tool like this bloated Ark fairy tale just yet. That's a good point, actually. Look, you don't think I'm being more careful this time around. I know the consequences of being too eager to jump towards the uncertain. This isn't just a spur-of-the-moment kind of thing. I've had 2 years to clear my head. Eiji sighed deeply, annoyance clear on his aged face. Yu wasn't able to relent now. Looking around to make sure no one else was within earshot, he leaned in toward AG, lowering his voice. A few days ago, Toshio and I found something. We know this is legit because Sanctus and GPA soldiers died for it. Both sides took casualties? He sounded uninterested. It was an ambush. The GPA intercepted a package. Mission didn't end well. You know why? AG sighed again. Outmatched, outgunned, doesn't matter. Sanctus has always had better equipment and training. This is elementary, You're wasting my time here. No, listen. The package, it detonated. An implosion-type bomb went off, but the package's core is left unscathed. Can you believe that? We're talking about something so important, it was encasing a shell durable enough to withstand a nuclear weapon. For 2 years, our kid genius hacked what the GPA was after. Lo and behold, it's living proof of Noah's Ark. Yu could no longer contain his excitement. He raised his voice without realizing it, catching the attention of some nearby patrons. Kid, listen. AG, the real thing exists somewhere. AG shook his head. One fantasy after another. 2 years have come and gone, and you still believe in fantasies. Didn't chasing the golden dream teach you anything? You want your recklessness to cost someone else's life again? What? Don't pull that crap on me. I know I made mistakes before. Now I'm trying to fix things. AG slammed both his hands on the wooden counter, startling Yu into silence. Look around you, Yu. You're not the only one dreaming of a better future. We live in a world where a glimmer of hope can drive a man mad. It's not beyond anyone's moral scruples to make up false hopes for whatever sick reason they feel like. Especially not Sanctus, who will say anything to trick people into following them. I thought you were smarter than that. Don't disappoint me. Deflated, Yu fell silent. He lowered his head, averting his eyes. I understand what you're saying, but I saw it. Toshio saw it. This is not a fantasy. This is something so important, Sanctus took a risk by loading it inside a bomb without any idea where it could detonate. The GPA put their men's lives on the line to get it. Take a load off, kid. Let me get you something stiff. AG, that sounds so wrong. This isn't crazy talk. I don't need a drink. This is about bringing my sister back to life. Any more of that crap, and I'm literally kicking you out. We all cared about your sister. Now we have to accept that she's gone. Get over it, people die, period. Yu saw the conviction in AG's eyes. Defeated, he let out a sigh and left his seat. No more words were spoken as he walked out the door. Well, that didn't work. In hindsight, AG was never going to just drop everything the second I came knocking and tell him I found a way to bring back the dead. There must be a way to convince him. Ring? Yu glanced at the homemade telecommunicator that everyone in the group used. It was Midori, the girl who, like Toshio, had always kept in touch after Derchalton fell apart. Midori? Hey, Yu. So, we have a bit of a Metal Gear thing going on here. I just heard from Toshio. Oh yeah? What did he tell you? You're going to revive Miho? That's ridiculous. Huh? But Toshi said... You think that's even possible? Well, it's a bit out there. I know, right? I wouldn't believe it if I had heard about it from someone else. Oh? You trust the genius kid that much? No, I mean, I believe him, but what I meant was that you always find a way to pull things off, you know? Of course, it helps that the idea has Toshi's vote of confidence. I mean, what you're trying to do is probably technically possible. Probably. Well, they say the Ark can turn back time, right? To the time before the world resorted to nuclear war. That's a rather tall order. True. And you still think it can be done? I think you'll make full use of the circumstances and utilize whatever it is the Ark is actually capable of doing. Don't get your hopes up. I couldn't even get AG to roll with it. Really? What happened? Just left his bar. The guy practically shoved me out. As expected, he didn't readily accept the idea that a dead person can be brought back to life. Well, it can't be that easy for AG, right? He'll need some convincing before he'll even consider it. Any suggestions? Just take it easy. The last thing you want to do is be pushy. Ever heard of the Mimosa Paducah? I don't really know what that is, so I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly. What? Saw it in one of Toshi's books. It's also called Touch Me Not. It's a plant with leaves that fold when you touch them. So AG's a plant. I don't really see the comparison. AG is not a plant. I wonder if that was supposed to be a genus and species name. If that's the case, then I probably can't pronounce it correctly. What I'm trying to say is that he might be reflexively shutting you out. We all cared about Miho, and I still do. Right, we all care about Miho, so you must understand that it's not easy for AG. You can't just walk up to him out of the blue and say you're going to bring her back from the dead. Know what I mean? Yeah, sure. Got any ideas, then? I'm not giving up until we can all be at my sister's side when she opens her eyes again. Like I said, you have to take it easy. I know indirect methods aren't your style, but taking AG head-on is like running into a steel wall. How about snooping around for information you can use to soften his shell a little? Like embarrassing stories to blackmail him with? No, well, I see two ways at your disposal. One is to appeal to your friendship, maybe do chores for him at the bar, though it'll probably take a lot more than that. And the other is blackmail? Not quite. It's more like if underhanded tactics are what it takes to get him on your side, then you have to do what you have to do, right? Interesting. You're really okay with this? I know getting Miho back is important to you. If that's what you need to be happy, then you should go for it. Just don't overdo it, okay? Overdo it how? I trust you not to go that far. Thanks. I guess you're right. A headstrong approach isn't going to topple the old man. Got it. Okay then, I look forward to the good news. Heh, bet on it. You could lose, you know. I thought you said you trusted me. Occasionally. Bye. Click. Can't say she was spot on. What was I thinking? I'm too excited. Miho, you'll have to wait a bit more. I'm sure you want everyone by your side when you wake up, right? Just give me some time. For now, I need a place to stay. I know there's a Sanctus camp nearby, though I've never been there. Profile has been updated. Let's go ahead and check it out. So we have Midori. She lives in Harajuku now, but always makes sure to stay in touch. Okay, nice thing about these profiles, they're brief. So, how do I trigger the arrow? There we go. You traverse the dark streets of Akihabara. There seem to be a lot more people near the center of Nova's Tokyo compared to a few years ago. Survivors were out peddling their wares, building makeshift houses, or begging for supplies. It was the busiest place you had seen in a while coming from the city outskirts. Times really changed, huh? Feels just like yesterday that people were struggling to barely stay alive. Having a Sanctus base nearby probably helps. Whether you're on their side or not, you've got to admit that they can maintain some semblance of law and order. At least as long as their soldiers are around. Hey. Wait. You heard footsteps fast approaching behind him. The man eventually caught up to him and was now struggling to catch his breath. We've seen two guys run past here. We'll play it honest for now. Are you kidding? I was right on their tails. Are you sure you didn't see them? Maybe they passed you while you were busy daydreaming. Come on, man. I just need a minute from you here. Our friend, she was... Oh, it's terrible. Those criminals have to pay. Good luck with that. I don't see Sanctus patrols anywhere. Oh, it's miserable. So miserable. Please, can you help us? Any information would be great. You look like you know your way around this place. So please. May as well. If things go bad, I guess I can just rewind. We'll go along with things. Thank you for being so understanding. As you can see, there's no one around to help us. We can't just... Those criminals have to pay. What they do? They... Oh god, I can't. Those scumbags. Despicable. Tell you what, my friend is waiting back there. You should come with me. I'll fill you in exchange. You gotta tell us what you saw. Capiche? Okay, this has bad idea written all over it, but let me try to amuse you. Like a good Samaritan, you followed the stranger. They stopped a block away from where they were met by another man. Did you get them, bro? Who's the guy? Pricks got away. This dude must have seen them. Might be able to tell us where they went or what they looked like. That's great. Thank you. We have to catch those goons. They, our friend, she... I'm sorry, but this is really hard on us. The man walked over to his friend, who looked like he was on the verge of tears and could barely even speak coherently. Come here, man. We don't want anyone else to hear what happened to our friend. Come closer so he can tell you. You step forward. Stop, don't move. He has a weapon. Well, of course I do. Who walks around without one? Sorry, brother. It's just a bit jumpy right now. We're in a bit of a rough patch right now, you get me? Yeah, sure, I'm not going anywhere. It's okay, man. Just ditch the weapon so my buddy here can stop having a panic attack. Come on, give it here. I'll hang on to it for you. He approached you, sighing apologetically. Once you hand it over, I'll tell you what's going on. We really need your help here, see? Us two will never sleep straight again if we don't get revenge. Okay, let's just go ahead and do it. Thanks, bud. Stab. Man gestured you over to his friend. You took one step towards him, then another. Before he could take yet another, he heard the sound of a blade slicing through flesh. Looking down, he saw the tip of his own tanto protruding through his stomach. A sharp, numbing pain quickly overcame him, accompanied by a burning sensation radiating from the wound itself. Suddenly, everything made sense. These criminals had never existed in the first place. They couldn't. He'd never seen anyone else on that street. The real criminals were these two men who had successfully lured him into their trap. In a world where survival of the fittest was the law of the land, he couldn't really blame them. It was really his own fault for not being careful enough. Chose spent his final moments thinking of Miho, who he'd never meet again. Game over. Okay, here we are back with the first choice, and let's just click yes this time. Great, those bastards. I need your help catching them, please. We can't let them get away. What'd they do? Oh god, I can't. And looks like this is repeated text. Come on, man, I just need a minute from you here. Our friend. And it's looking like your dialogue choices don't really matter. Sorry, you have to find someone else. You have no heart, brother. No, you have no heart. The stranger shook his head in dismay. Fixed you with a piercing glare before turning on his heel and leaving by the opposite direction. Wait, maybe I can help after all. Thank you for being so understanding. As you can see, there is no one around to help us. We just can't. Those criminals have to pay. So, let's see what happens if we don't hand over the weapon this time. Do we fight them, or what? That's not happening. Calm your buddy down, or there's not much I can do to help. Come on, look at him. He's scared shitless. Please, bro, give us the knife and let's get this over with. I can just walk away, and you make me want to. The man saw you use conviction and backed down with a defeated sigh. Fine, Dude, just calm down. Just relax. Mr. Stranger here isn't gonna hurt us. You can't freak out like that. Whatever, as long as you help us out. Revenge is the only thing that'll satisfy us at this point. Alright, we're cool now. Now come here so I can tell you what's going on. As you approach them, a sudden burst of excruciating pain exploded from within his stomach. His vision blurred, overwhelmed by the intensity of it as blood dripped from the gaping wound caused by the knife he'd been stabbed with. He was beginning to suspect that he was at the end of his rope when he had a sudden burst of clarity. Been a trap all along. Been so eager to hunt down others that he hadn't realized he was the one being hunted. His life was flashing before his eyes now. Looks like this was really it. Miho, maybe we'll meet again in the next life. Game over. And I don't know if I'm going to cut out the loading screen, but all stuff we've seen before, so this time we'll just not go. Better stay out of trouble as much as I can. I have to admit, there's no guarantee that the Ark will be easily accessible. Sanctus and GP are obviously on the move. Hopefully they'll be too busy killing each other. Both of them have suffered losses chasing the Ark, and that's gotta add insult to their injuries. The sooner I get the entire team cracking on the Ark, the better. Wonder how many people live in there. The building isn't deserted, that's for sure. Bothering the people inside isn't a smart idea. This late hour, nomad sellers are always on edge. You never know when anyone's going to barge in and steal your supplies. Looks like this truck's been stranded there for a long time. These vehicles are rusted beyond repair. Anything else I can click on? That's a nasty gap in that building. I bet the breeze is nice at night, though. Time was not kind to this building. Anything else to click on? Okay, let's just go forward. Can't mistake those guards for anything else. This is definitely Sanctus territory. Security seems tighter than usual. I suppose the increased GPA activity keeps everyone on their toes. From distance, you could see a desperate-looking man who was little more than skin and bones. He particularly stood out because of how restless he seemed, his eyes constantly darting this way and that. The man fell in line with everyone else who was trying to enter the settlement. A guard ran a scanning device over his body, the machine emitting a series of beeps as it did its work. However, the noise seemed to suddenly drive the man into hysterics. This can't be right. Your scanner must be broken. Back off. You're not allowed here. Please, do it again. Check me. I have the chip, I swear. The man tried to grab the guard's collar. They're missing a word. Something. They're either to grab or grabbing. But the guard roughly shoved him away. We don't want this to turn ugly. Just back off, old fart. I have a chip. I fucking ate one. Bit it off some unlucky sod. Please, let me in. I haven't had a decent meal in months. Disgusting. 2 gunshots roared from the guard's rifle, killing the man instantly. The other people in line watched with mild interest, but seemed to quickly put it out of their minds. A man in uniform indifferently dragged the dead body away. Run-of-the-mill, thought you. The witness's apathetic reactions did not strike you as particularly unsympathetic. It was clear that such things were just part of everyday life around here. Poor guy. You dealt one bad hand and end up either starving to death or getting killed by other survivors. Wonder how long I'd survive without this biochip in my arm. I know I'd be begging Angie for a place to stay right now if I didn't have this golden ticket. Funny when you think about how this little bugger's supposed to be a symbol of faith, a privilege bestowed on those who choose to believe, they tell us. If only the lack of it didn't mean death. Never even had a choice, to be fair. Forced indoctrination upon birth does have its perks. Privilege my ass. Better get inside. What can we look at? You're new around here, aren't you? Just passing by. You know the drill. You offered his left arm to the guard, who promptly used the scanner on him. Get in. If you don't mind. Gotta find myself a spot. Given the atmosphere of this place, I doubt there are shortages of anything. Places that are running low on the basics tend to feel a bit tense. The settlement seems fine. No one probably bothers to clean this place up. And can I look at anything else before I need to start talking to people? This room's occupied. I'm not sleeping in there tonight. It's dark outside. Anyone could end up as a corpse this time of night. That must be the security room. No point in going there unless I want to be a pain in the neck to Sanctus officers. And let's start talking to people. You first. Doesn't look like she can be bothered. How about this one? She's sleeping. No need to wake her up. There's a kid in here. I wonder where his parents are. Very Japanese, man. What? Is it just me, or are there more Sanctus troops here lately? And I'm not going to do some sort of Japanese impersonation for this. I didn't know Akihabara was a danger zone. Not so Japanese, man. Speaks in a different language. What's a bunch of starving rebels going to do? Their biggest problem is probably stopping themselves from eating each other. Still speaking a different language. Those good-for-nothing guards are just stealing our rations. We're better off without them, I'd say. Still talking in a different language. Are they talking to each other? Indeed. Indeed. These two now. Faithful loyalist. Oh, hail Lord Septimus for providing us a roof to sleep under tonight. Hail, hail. Unsure loyalist. Please, Lord Septimus, His Holiness, for the food on our table every day. More meat, please. Hail, hail. It is by your grace that we live another day. O Lord Septimus, to you I pray. Sure I didn't get shot today. Hail, hail. Oh, I'm glad I didn't get shot today. Hail, hail. Nut jobs. Indeed. Well, the beds in this area seem occupied. Better look around some more. It can't be that crowded in a settlement that's barely inside Sanctus territory. And here we have a little girl and an old man. Let's talk to the other news. Rebel activities are increasing in outer territories of Novus Tokyo, compromising the safety of its residents. The blessed followers of Lord Septimus are advised to stay within short distance of Sanctus settlements, where the mighty fist of His Holiness is always ready to strike insurgents. Rest assured that the faithful are in good hands, and the rebel threat will soon meet its demise. Okay. Let's go ahead and talk to the old man. Hold it, brat. Whoa, calm down. You shut your trap, invader. What? I'm not an invader. Just trying to find a place to sleep. Ran out of poor defenseless survivors to pillage in your homeland, you criminal. Shh, Gramps, it's just a homeless kid. He's no invader. How can you trust a face like that? Excuse me? Never knew I looked shady. Sorry, he's got a few loose screws, as you can see. Ah, well, I'll just go find another bed. I'm really sorry, I think the place is full for the night. That bed you're looking at is the last one available. Don't worry, I'll put Gramps to sleep. He's your grandfather? He is. Used to be a kind old man, but you know what the wasteland does to people. Gotcha. Kill the enemy. Don't let them take our land. Lord Septimus, protect us. Gramps, you're disturbing everyone. I'm terribly sorry. No prob, I can just stroll for a while and come back later when he dozes off. Oh, I'm so sorry for the trouble, but that would be a good idea. Don't mention it, you take care of your Gramps. Thank you. He should be out soon. Alright then. I have no choice, might as well get some fresh air for a while. Get lost, invader. So, let's turn around then. Can we talk to the guard? You can get in now. And that set me back. Can I interact with the kid? No. What a strange old man. Will I be like that in a few decades from now? A long time ago, way before I ever met anyone in Derchalton, Miho was the only person who was always by my side. For a while, she was the only thing keeping me sane. Without her around to keep me going, who knows what gibberish I'll be spouting at 50. I'll probably have a breakdown much sooner than that. These past 2 years have been just so... I can still remember how it felt when Toshio first told me about the Ark. It felt like I was alive for the first time in ages. How will I ever live without Miho? Derchalton just wasn't the same without her, and even with my skills, I'd be dead in no time trying to scavenge on my own. Should I join the Sanctus Army, become a herder, revolt with the GPA? No. I am not interested in any of that. I have to bring Miho back before I lose my mind. You spent half an hour wandering the streets of Akihabara. It was a place said to be teeming with life before the Armageddon. You remember Toshio once raving to him about what was now ancient history. He told you of an Akihabara that had been completely illuminated at nighttime, an electric town with stores as far as the eye could see. He found it difficult to imagine how such a desolate city could have been a center of culture and technology. The dark streets were now dimly lit by a handful of wavering lamps. Akihabara was a lot easier to traverse compared to anywhere else outside Novus Tokyo. Sanctus's cleanup efforts were noticeable, but the population remained meager. Bothering the people inside isn't a smart idea. Yeah, stuff we've seen before. Head back to the settlement, okay? So, one thing that I like about this game so far is that there aren't these time sinks, at least. You don't have to wander around or anything like that. You can't wander too far away from where you're going, I should say. He's finally asleep, huh? Yes, I apologize for the inconvenience. The bed's all yours now. You nod as a gesture of thanks. The offer is more than welcome. This one? I better tread carefully tomorrow. I know I'm asking for a lot from Eiji. From his point of view, this all must just seem like some kind of wild goose chase. But he must feel as strongly about this as I do, right? As much as I hate to admit it, he was a better big brother to Miho. He was everyone's reliable, responsible big brother. think of it, ever since getting to really know each other, this is the first time Aegis refused to help me. Is the Empyrean that important? Maybe the idea of reviving the dead is too crazy for him. It has to be possible, if Toshio would swear on it. Ah, whatever. Time to get some shut-eye. Rays of golden sunlight pierce through the heavens to shine upon me. The sky above me is brighter than I've ever seen it. My eyes follow the rays of light back down to the ground. All around me are white flowers with tiny closed petals receiving nourishment from the sun. They're called snowdrops, I think. I know I've seen them somewhere before, but I don't recall where or when. I think it was summer. Images run through my head as if I were watching a movie, and then I see her. Miho. She loves snowdrops. Once we saw an entire field of them. She ran through them as if she didn't have a care in the world. The movie ends and the snowdrops in front of me begin glowing warmly. One by one they start to blossom, as if absorbing the sunlight. Suddenly I realize they're all around me. Hundreds, maybe thousands of snowdrops. I'm at the center of them all. At first they blossom one by one, then two, then three, until eyes could no longer follow along. I notice the flowers have been forming a circular pattern around me. I've been completely surrounded by blossoming snowdrops. Chapter 1, Second Night. So, this is a good place as any to stop. We'll continue on and see what happens on the second night, but until then, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.